You got a 1-1 count here. And he'll foul it off for strike number 2. And he'll take that for a ball. And that'll even the count at 2-2. That'll be low and outside to fill the count. 3-2 count here. And he'll send that up the middle for a single. So Hudson Moore's on with the leadoff single. That'll bring Caden Edgerton up to the plate. Number 0, lefty. Here comes the pitch, and it'll be high for ball 1. Here comes the pitch, and it'll be a called strike on the inside. Even the count at 1-1 on Edgerton. Here comes a 1-1 pitch. And that'll be called a ball. 2-1 count on Edgerton. And they'll put the hit and run on. Carl Alexander comes in left field, make the catch. That's like Cash Perkins, correction, left field. That'll bring up Brody Ellsworth, number 3 for Blue Ridge. Hudson Moore will take his lead off of first. Here comes the pitch, and it'll be high and outside for a ball. Here comes the pitch, and it'll be a swing and a miss. For a strike. Even the count at 1-1 here. Comes the pitch, it'll be inside for ball number 2. Here comes the pitch, it'll be low and outside. And Hudson Moore will get in easily to second base. That'll put the count to 3-1 for Ellsworth. Comes the pitch, and it'll be a called strike on the outside. That'll run the count full. And he'll take ball 4. We'll have runners on first and second with 1 out. That'll bring up number 18, Hunter Baskins for Blue Ridge. Got runners on first and second, 1 out. Hunter Baskins up to bat. And here comes the pitch, and it'll be a swing and a miss for strike one. And that'll be high for ball one, leaving the count at 1-1. And it'll be a swing and a miss for strike two. Runners move up on that ball in the dirt. So we'll have runners now on second and third. 2 strikes on Hunter Baskins. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. And it'll be strike 3 for out number 2. That'll bring up Grayson Kenslick, number 13 for Blue Ridge. Takes his spot in the box. And here comes the pitch, and he'll put one down in front of the left fielder. That'll bring in 2 runs for Blue Ridge. Hudson Moore and Brody Ellsworth will come in. So we have 2 outs. Hudson Moore on first, and that'll bring up Christian Skousen to bat for Blue Ridge. Comes the pitch, and it'll be swinging a miss for strike number 1. Kenslick takes his lead. Here comes the pitch, and it'll be high and inside for ball 1. One pitch on the way, and a swing and a miss for strike 2. Comes the 1-2 pitch, and Kenslick goes to second. And I believe the ball was dropped, and it'll be safe into second. Throw beat him by quite a ways, but couldn't hang on to the ball. So we got a runner on second, 2 strikes here on Christian Skousen. And it'll be called strike 3 for out number 3. That'll take us to the bottom of the first. Sholo Cougars 0-2 for Blue Ridge. Let's see if the Cougars can answer back in the bottom. All right, here we go. The throwdown's complete by Hunter Baskins. Looks like we have Christian Scales on the mound for Blue Ridge. Looks like we'll have Nick Call, number 2, the first baseman, up to bat for the Cougars. Comes the first pitch from Skousen. And Hall will put that into play, and it'll get through past the second baseman, and he'll be up with a single. That'll bring up Easton Hatch, number 3, for the Sholo Cougars. Nick Call at first. And that'll be high and inside for ball 1. 1-0 count here for Hatch. And pickoff attempt at first. Hall will be safe. Skousen gets his sign, and here comes a pitch. Hall will take off, throw down, and will be safe at second. Got a runner on second. Got a 1-1 count on Hatch. Hall at second. Here comes the pitch, and he'll put it in play, and this ball will get through. Third and short, and the throw will be cut, and Hall will be easily in at home plate.
Number 10.
That'll bring up number 10, Dre Chavez, up to bat. Easton Hatch on first. And here comes the pitch. It'll be ball 1. Chavez gets his sign from Coach Frost. Pickoff attempt at first. Hatch safe. Here comes the pitch. It'll be outside for ball 2. Gets his sign, checking his runner. Here comes the 2-0 pitch. Hatch will take off. That one will almost hit Chavez, but he'll get down. Hatch will be easily in there in the second. And that'll run the count to a 3-0 count for Chavez. We'll see if Coach Frost will give him the green light here. Hatch will move up to second. Hatch takes his lead off a second. Here comes the pitch, and Chavez hits it. It looked like an inside pitch there. So that'll run the count to 3-1 for Chavez. Hatch takes his lead again. Comes a 3-1 pitch. And it'll be a swing and a miss for Chavez. Run the count full. Here comes the payoff pitch, and it'll be in the dirt. Chavez running to first. And Hatch will move up to third on that. The drop third strike. Chavez will be out. That'll bring up number 1, Cash Perkins, the left fielder for Sholo Cougars. Hatch still on third, 1 out. Pitch was inside, but it must have just hit the corner for a called strike 1. Here comes the pitch, and Perkins will put it in. Shortstop was playing in the hole, and it got up the top there. That'll bring Hatch in easily to score. That'll bring up Mason Bigas, number 6, a center fielder for Sholo. Cash Perkins on first. Here comes the pitch. Oh, Perkins will take off. Throw from Baskins. And he'll be safe in at second. So we got a runner on second. 1 out. Mason Bigas up to bat. And that was a called ball. And that'll be a call strike on the inside bottom half of the zone there. That'll even the count at 1-1. And here comes the 1-1 pitch. And that'll be called a ball. So we got a 2-1 count on Mason Bigas. Here comes the pitch. Oh, he'll put that into play. Oh, he'll miss that ball. And that'll send Perkins home.
Carter Alexander.
That'll put a runner on first. That'll put Mason Bigas here on first for the Cougars. Carter Alexander up to bat, the third baseman for the Sholo Cougars tonight. We still have 1 out. And a pickoff attempt at first. And he'll be safe. Here comes the pitch. And Alexander will put that up. And right field will settle under. Oh, and he'll miss it. Runners will advance. Bigas will end up on third. Alexander on second. And then Bigas will come all the way home to score.
Sholo Cougars, Peyton Watkins.
Peyton Watkins up to bat for the Sholo Cougars. Last time he faced Blue Ridge, he went 4 for 4. Alexander on second. And he puts the ball in play to third base. Alexander will try to move up on the ball, on the throw. He'll make it to third. Watkins will be out at first. That'll bring up Parker Erickson for the Cougars, second baseman. Alexander still on third base, 2 outs for the Cougars. And he'll put the ball in play, and the shortstop will field it, and he'll be safe at first, which will tie up the game with Alexander coming in.
Now batting for the Sholo Cougars.
That'll bring up number 26, Bodie Kenny, up to bat, the pitcher for the Sholo Cougars tonight. Pickoff attempt at first, and Erickson will be safe. Skousen will be set and throws. He'll put it out to right field. Right fielder tries to come in, and it'll drop in. And Parker Erickson is trying to score at home. And he'll be safe at home. Kenny will be safe at second as well. That'll bring up Nick Call, top of the order for Sholo. And that'll be outside for ball 1 for Hall. Cougars increased their lead. That'll be 6-2 now for the Sholo Cougars. Here comes the pitch. Hall will put that into play. Cade Edgerton will field it and step on first for out number 3 for the Cougars. That'll put us 6-2 Sholo Cougars. All right, so we're all set here. Top of 2. We have number 15 up to bat, Harris for Blue Ridge. Kenny takes his place on the mound. And here comes the first pitch. Ooh, that'll be high and inside and get him on the elbow. That'll put him on base. So Blue Ridge will have a runner on first with no outs here in the top of 2. I'll put number 16, Terrell, up to bat. Runner on first. Here comes the and he steps off. Nope. Umpire's going to say he balked, so they'll send the runner from first to second. Here comes a pitch, and looks like an attempted bunt will be fouled back behind us for strike number 1. Harris still on second. Harris takes his lead from second. Here comes the pitch and attempted bunt again. He'll be called a strike. That'll be an 0-2 count on Terrell. Oh, and 2 count. And that'll be strike 3. And they're saying it's a drop third strike, so he attempts to run to first, and he'll be out. First out. Harris still at second. And that'll bring up Trevin Bolton, number 6 for Blue Ridge. Looks like Coach Whites wants to have a chat with the home plate umpire. So Trevin Bolton will be on. We have the runner on second. Here comes the pitch, and it'll be outside, swing and a miss for a strike. And that'll be a called strike 3 for out number 2 for Blue Ridge. That'll bring up number 31, Hudson Moore for Blue Ridge. 2 outs. Harris still on second, takes his lead. Here comes the pitch, and it'll be outside. Nice block by Chavez in the dirt. And it'll be called strike 1 to even the count at 1-1. Comes a 1-1 pitch, and a behind outside for ball 2. Comes the pitch, and it'll be called strike 2 on the outside corner. 2-2 count. And he'll put it in play. Right fielder's out there under it, and that'll be out number 3. That'll send us to the bottom of 2 with the score of 6-2. All right, we'll have Easton Hatch up to bat here in the bottom of 2. Kristen Scows is still on the mound. And here comes the pitch. Be low for ball 1. And that'll be low for ball 1. Yeah, it'll be low for ball number 1. 3-0 count. We'll see if Hal Frost is going to green light Hatch on this one. And that'll be strike number 1.
She's always keeping him on his toes. Oh, did you hear that? How long this one?
And that ball will be outside and low for ball 4. Hatch taking off. And he goes to second. Baskins will throw, and he'll be safe at second. Hatch.
Number 10, Dre.
That'll bring up Dre Chavez, number 10. Struck out last time up to bat. We'll see if he can redeem himself. And he'll put that into play, and he'll get between the third and short. And that'll put runners on the corner for Sholo. And that'll bring up Cash Perkins.
Cash Perkins.
And they'll bring in a courtesy runner, number 8, Ridge Rush for Chavez. And that'll be ball 1. A little high there for Perkins. Skousen comes set. Here comes the pitch. Ooh, it almost gets Perkins, but he's able to get out of the way. That'll be ball 2. And he'll take off for second. And there'll be no throw. Big swing by Perkins. That'll put the count at 2-1. Runners on second and third for the Cougars. And that'll be called a ball 3. So we'll have a 3-1 count for Perkins. We'll see if he gets something here to hit. And he'll put it in play. It'll be deep and gone. Home run for Cash Perkins.
Now batting for the Solo Cougars.
That'll clear the bases.
Nice job, Cash.
Now batting for the Solo
That'll put the score at 9-2. Sholo Cougars. That'll bring up Mason Bigos with the bases cleared now. Here in the second. And that'll be called strike 1. Here comes the pitch from Skousen. And that'll be outside for ball 1. And here comes the 1-1 pitch. Call strike on the outside. 1-2 count on Bigas. Here comes the pitch. And Bigas will swing and miss. And it'll be a drop third strike. and Baskins will get it to Edgington for out number one.
Solo Cougars, Carter.
That'll bring up Carl Alexander, third baseman for the Cougars, up to bat. And Skousen delivers. And it'll be over Alexander's head for ball number one. And that'll be called strike to even the count at 1-1. 1-1 pitch, and Alexander will take that to left field. Left field will be under it, and he'll make the catch for out number two. That'll bring up Peyton Watkins for the Show Low Cougars. Oh, almost gets Peyton. He's able to duck out of the way for ball one. Skousen comes set. Here comes the pitch. And that'll be low and inside for ball two. Here comes the pitch, and Watton sends it over to the shortstop. It bounces off the shortstop's glove. Looks like caught him in the wrist, and he'll be safe at first.
For the Solo Cougars.
Looks like they're going to come out and take a look at Brody Ellsworth. That ball looked like it hopped up and got him in the wrist. I guess he's telling the umpire and his coach that he's okay, waving them off. That really took a bad hop and caught him right in the wrist. So that'll put a runner on first for Sholo. 2 outs, and now Parker Erickson up to bat for Sholo. Pickoff attempt at first. Watkins will be safe. And he'll put that in play, and it'll get down off the wall. Big hit. Here comes Watkins around third. Erickson around second. He'll slide into third. And the ball will get away from Trevin Bolton, and he'll be safe at third. So that'll bring the score 10-2 for the Sholo Cougars with Bodie Kenny, the pitcher, up to bat. Parker Erickson on third. Here comes a pitch from Skousen. That'll be inside for ball one. Comes the pitch. Kenny will send it down the left field line past the diving Bolton. That'll bring Erickson home. Kenny will stay put at first for a stand-up single. That'll bring up first baseman Nick Hall, number 2 for the Cougars. Looks like they'll get a courtesy runner, Jackson Pierce, in for Bodie Kinney. And the ball gets away from Baskins, and that'll send Jackson Pierce to second. Cougars still with 2 outs here. Hall ready in the box. He'll take the 0-1 pitch, and he'll make contact and foul it back for strike number 2. It'll be an 0-2 count on Hall. Pierce still at second base. 2 outs here for the Show Low Cougars. Comes the 0-2 pitch. Pierce will take off. Hall will put it into play, and it'll foul back behind us. Pierce will have to go back to second. Here comes the pitch. And he'll send it down up the middle. That'll bring Jackson Pierce around third, and he'll come home to score. Hall will stay put at first, but that'll bring in another run for the Cougars. That'll bring up number 3, Easton Hatch, to bat with Nick Hall on first. And a pickoff attempt again at first. Hall will be safe. Got a 0-1 count on Hatch. Nick takes a good lead. And Hatch will put it in play on the first base side for strike number 2. Nick Hall taking his lead. 0-2 pitch from Skousen. Hall will take off, and it'll get Hatch in the back. So that'll put them on first and second with 2 outs. And that'll bring up number 10, Dre Chavez, up to bat for the Cougars.
Number 10, Dre.
And it looks like they're going to want to have a chat with their pitcher here. We got a mound visit from Blue Ridge.
What are you doing?
Chavez and Perkins over there talking with Coach Frost. Looks like we'll have Dre Chavez up to bat with Hall and Hatch on first and second. 2 outs. Here comes the pitch. And it'll be off the hands on third base side for strike number 1.
flying right now. He's coming over right now. See him? That's him right there.
There comes the pitch, and it'll be hit deep to left field.
That's over.
Gone! And a home run for Chavez. That's the Smash Bros. Strike again. Cash Perkins and Chavez. That'll bring up the other side of the Smash Bros. Cash Perkins up to bat with the bases cleared. Here comes the pitch, and that'll be down for ball one. That'll get away from Baskins. And here comes the pitch, and Perkins will put that into play, but he'll be fouled third base side to even the count at 1-1.
Send it our way because there's always angles I need.
I mean, he played hoops for.
Here comes the 1-1 pitch to Perkins, and that'll be called strike to send the count to 1-2. Comes the pitch, and that'll be outside for 2-2. Here comes the pitch, and it'll be low in the dirt. And Perkins will take off to first on the drop third strike, and he'll be out for out number 3. But that'll send the score to 15-2, Show Low Cougars, after the home run by Chavez. That'll bring up number 0, Caden Edgington, the lefty up to bat for Blue Ridge. Here comes the pitch from Kenny, and it'll be called a ball. So that'll put us at a 1-0 count for Edgington. And that pitch will be low for ball 2. 2-0 count on Edgington. That pitch will be inside for a 3-0 count on Caden Edgington. We'll see if he gets the green light here on the 3-0 count. And that'll be called strike 1. So that'll be a 3-1 count on Edgington. He'll take his place back in the box. Here comes a 3-1 pitch, and he'll foul it off to left field side for strike number 2. That will even the count. Oh, that'll be a full count. Payoff pitch here. And it'll be outside for a walk. That'll put Edgington on base with no outs here for Blue Ridge. That'll bring up Brody Ellsworth, number 3 for Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets. And Chops look for the back pick. That throw will be way high, and Hall's able to bring it in. And just must have just missed the outside corner there for a ball. And he swings and fouls that back for strike number 2. So we got a 1-2 count on Ellsworth. Edgington still at first. Kenny checks his runner. Here comes the pitch. And it'll be a swing, foul tip, and caught by Chavez for an out, number 1. Edgington still at first. That'll bring up Hunter Baskins, the catcher for Blue Ridge tonight. Number 18. Edgington takes his lead at first. Here comes the pitch. And it'll be called strike on the outside corner. Here comes the pitch to Baskins, and it'll be strike number 2. So 0-2 count on Baskins. Edgington still up first with 1 out for Blue Ridge. Here comes the pitch, and he'll be called out, strike 3 on the outside corner. That'll be 2 outs for Blue Ridge. That'll bring up Grayson Kinslick, who had a hit last time he was up to bat. Still have Edgington on first with that leadoff walk. Kinslick takes his place in the box. Here comes the pitch. And it'll be a call strike on the outside corner. 0-1 count on Kinslick. And that'll be outside for ball number 1. That'll leave the count at 1-1. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. And Kinslick will foul that straight back for strike number 2. Kenny gets his pitch. Here comes the 1-2 pitch, and it'll be outside to even the count at 2-2 for Kinslick. Here comes the 2-2 pitch, and Kinslick puts that in play. It'll be over Kenny's head. It'll be filled by Erickson, and there will be no throw to first, so everybody will be safe. Kinslick on first and Edgington on second with 2 outs for Blue Ridge. That'll bring up the pitcher, number 20, Christian Skousen for Blue Ridge. Kinslick gets set. Here comes the pitch, and it'll be a swing and a miss for strike 1 for Skousen. Here comes the pitch, and that'll even the count at 1-1 for Skousen. He checks to see if he went on that, and Jamie will say no. So 1-1 count for Skousen. Here comes the 1-1 pitch and called strike. That'll put a 1-2 count for Christian Skousen. Edgerton still at second and Kenslick at first. Here comes the pitch and he'll put it in play but foul it off third base side. That'll keep the count at 1-2.
No, his goal is to work for Southwest or American, but right now he likes to do.
Here comes the pitch and he'll be called out on strike 3.
He wants to
That'll take us down to the bottom of 3.
Where it begins,
350 hours. He can say
I
7.
can't begin to know.
Looks like Blue Ridge will bring in Justin Carpenter to pitch. And Mason Begas looks like he's warming up for the Sholo Cougars to hit. And we'll get the throw down from Hunter Baskins and be ready to start here.
Now batting for the Sholo Cougars, Mason.
Mason Begas will be up to bat for Sholo. Looking for his first hit of the day today. Comes the pitch and he puts it in play. That'll be a hard one for the right fielder to field, and he'll be down. And he'll run to second, slide in, and he'll be safe at second. That was right on the line in right field. Nice hit that snuck in there. That'll bring up Carter Alexander for the Sholo Cougars. We have Begas on second. Here comes the pitch from Carpenter. And be called strike 1 on the outside corner. And here comes the pitch. And that'll be outside for ball 1. That'll even the count at 1-1 for Alexander. Begas still on second. He'll take his lead. And that'll be low and inside for ball 2.
How's Mason looking?
2-1 count here for Alexander. And he'll swing and miss, which will even the count at 2-2. But Bigas will move up on the pass ball from Baskins. 2-2 count here for Alexander. Carpenter gets set here. Here comes the pitch. And he'll pop it sky high. Center field will come on and make the catch for out number 1.
Now batting for the Sholo Cougars, Jackson Pierce.
I don't know what happened at third base. Apparently they didn't tag up. That'll bring up Jackson Pierce to bat for the Sholo Cougars. So we got 1 out. Bigas on third with Jackson Pierce up to bat. And that'll be outside for ball 1. And here comes the pitch, and it'll be a swing and a miss by Pierce. Bigas will come in to score at home. And that'll put the score 16-2 for Sholo. So 1-1 count for Pierce. Looks like Carpenter gets a pitch he likes, and here comes the pitch. And it'll be outside for ball 2. Here comes the pitch, and that'll be inside for ball 3. 3-1 count on Pierce. Here comes a 3-1 pitch, and Pierce will put that into play between shortstop and third. It'll be off the shortstop's glove, Brody Ellsworth, and Pierce will be safe at first.
Erickson.
And that'll bring up number 4, the second baseman, Parker Erickson for Sholo. Pierce over at first with 1 out. And that'll be called high for a ball. 1-0 count on Erickson. Pickoff attempt at first. Pierce will be safe. Skousen now in at first for Edgington. Here comes the pitch, and it'll be down and inside for ball 2. Carpenter checks his runner, and here comes the 2-0 pitch. And swing the miss by Erickson. That'll take the count to 2-1. And the pitch is outside. And it'll be a 3-1 count on Erickson. And he'll put that foul off the right field side to make the count full. Pierce still over there on first. 1 out. Here comes the pitch, and Erickson will put that out to left field. He'll get down. Pierce is running hard, going to be rounding third. And it'll be cut off by Trevin Bolton, and they'll hold Erickson at second. But that'll bring in another run for the Cougars. That'll bring up Bodie Kenny, the pitcher, number 26 for the Cougars. So here we are, 18-2 in the bottom of the third. Nick Hall up to bat. Bodie Kenny on first. And he puts it into play to center field. Center field will range over. And he'll make the catch for out number 2. Kind of a crazy play for Kenny. Kenny had a kind of a check swing there that was almost played like a bunt, which was able to bring the run home, and he was able to be safe there on first as Eldworth made the play. And big swing by Hatch. They're saying he got a piece of it. So Kenny will have to go back to first. Ooh, looks like the ball caught catcher Hunter Baskins. He looks like he's in some pain there. Coach coming out to check on him. He's looking to walk it off. They're going to give him a moment to recover. Looks like Baskin's okay. He takes his place behind the plate. He's going to tough it out here. Blue Ridge has 2 outs here. 0-1 count on Hatch. And that pitch will get behind Hatch for ball number 1. And that'll be outside for ball number 2. 2-1 count on Hatch. Bodie Kenny on first. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. And he'll send it way deep to left field, left center, and he can't get to it. Kenny running around third. He'll come home. Hatch will stop at second.
Now,
Big hit from
Cougar,
Hatch.
Number 10, Ray Chavez.
That'll bring up the catcher, number 10, Dre Chavez, up to bat. Here comes the pitch, and that'll be outside. Oh, that'll be a called strike on the outside, upper outside corner for Chavez.
He doesn't even know what to say.
Ooh, that one gets Chavez.
Lower left.
Well, I guess they're not making any contact, so that'll be ball 1. I thought it caught him in the jersey there. So 1-1 count on Chavez. And that'll be high for ball 2. Here comes a pitch from Carpenter. And that'll be down in the dirt for ball 3. 3-1 count now on Chavez. Here comes the pitch, and it'll be way behind Chavez. And it'll be ball 4. Chavez will round first.
Now batting for the Solo Cougars, Cash Perkins.
So that'll put Chavez on first. And Hatch on third. First and third here for the Cougars. Cash Perkins up to bat. Had a home run earlier in the game. Here comes the pitch. It'll be outside for ball number 1. And they'll call that a strike on Perkins. So it'll be a 1-1 count on Perkins. We got courtesy runner over for Chavez on first. Ridge rush. And that'll get away from Baskins outside. And Hatch will jog home. Rush will go to second. And that'll put another run on the board for Sholo. So Perkins got a 2-1 count. So 2-2 count on Perkins.
They have to play for it. So
Here comes the pitch, and that'll be a swing and a miss for out number 3. And we'll head down to top of 4. All right, that'll look like it'll bring up Harris up to bat for Blue Ridge. Number 5. And here comes the pitch from Bodie Kenny. And that'll be called the ball low. Oh, looks like we got Begay as a correction. Number 5, Begay up to bat for Blue Ridge. And that'll be high, but a swing and a miss for Begay. Here comes the pitch. And he'll foul that one back. And that'll keep the count at 1-2. Here comes the pitch. And that'll be called strike 3 on Begay.
He said it out a little while ago, yeah. Yeah. Like 17 minutes ago.
That'll bring up pitcher Justin Carpenter for Blue Ridge.
He said that he was going to
Here comes the pitch, and it'll be a swing and a miss for strike 1.
fly to Prescott. They were going to fly to Prescott tonight and then turn around and come back. But then, no, or Easton was playing. So.
And that'll be a call strike. So that'll be a 0-2 count for Carpenter. Kenny working quickly here for strike 3. That'll be 2 outs now for Blue Ridge.
Yeah.
That'll bring up Trevin Bolton for Blue Ridge. Big swing and a miss for Bolton for strike number 1. Kenny working quickly tonight. Strike number 2 for Kenny. Here comes the 0-2 pitch to Bolton. And it'll be a swing and a miss for out number 3. And that'll take us to bottom of 4 with the score of Cougars 20 and 2 for Blue Ridge. It looked like they were going to call it for a minute, but Coach White's not going to have any of that. Sends them out there for another inning.
They already closed the game.
Coach White says he wants to play another inning. So that'll take us to bottom of 4. 20-2. Looks like we have Dakota Whiting coming up to bat for the Show Low Cougars, number 22.
Good, just coming in.
So we got a 1-1 count on Dakota
So like pitch
Whiting.
gonna be off.
He'll take ball number 2. That'll be a 2-1 count for Whiting. Here comes the pitch. And almost catches him. That'll be ball 3. So a 3-1 count on Whiting.
Steven, I'm pretty sure you make me cold every time you come.
What's that?
Because you don't have a jacket on.
Here comes a 3-1 pitch. And that'll be outside. And he'll be aboard here
Now
with our first base runner of the inning. That'll bring up Ridge Rush number 8 for the Cougars. So we got no outs. Dakota Whiting on first and Ridge Rush up to bat. There comes the pitch and big swing and a miss from Rush.
Windows open at night, everything.
Do you?
Mm-hmm.
My husband.
Here comes the pitch. And that'll be high to even the count at 1-1 for Ridge Rush.
Every morning he has to like take all of the jacket stuff off.
Here comes the pitch and that'll be high for ball 2. 2-1 count now on Rush. Dakota Whiting still on first.
Oscillating fan, his fan, still freaking cold in his room.
Here comes the pitch, and he'll foul that straight back to even the count at 2-2. Whiting takes his lead. Carpenter checks him. Here comes the pitch, and Rush will foul that off over the visitor dugout to keep the count at 2-2. Here comes the pitch, and he'll send that out to left field, down the line. Whiting will head for third. Rush will be standing easily at second, and they'll both hold up at second and third. Nice line drive double for Rush. Yeah, that'll be called the ball for Jackson Pierce. Jackson's got runners on second and third. 0-1 count. And he'll foul that straight back to even the count at 1-1. So we got a 1-1 count. Runners on second and third with no outs for the Cougars. Here comes the pitch, and that'll be a strike on the outside for strike 2. Be a 1-2 count to Pierce. Pitch, and Pierce will send that up the middle. That will hold up. Coach Frost will hold up Rush at third, and that'll bring in Whiting. So we'll have runners on first and third now. Looks like that'll bring up number 24, Carter Davis, up to bat for the Cougars. So we got Jackson Pierce on first, Ridge Rush on third with Davis batting. And that'll be ball 1.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
Pierce takes his lead off of first. And Davis skies one out to center field. Center fielder back and makes the catch. That'll bring in Ridge Rush from third. Sacrifice fly for Davis.
Now batting for the Solo Cougars.
So that'll bring up Aaron Barriga to bat for the Cougars. Still have Jackson Pierce on first. 1 out. And that'll be called strike on Barriga. It'll be a swing and a miss for strike 2 for Barriga. Chase that pitch outside. Here comes 0-2 pitch. It'll be way inside for ball 1. And it'll be high and inside for ball 2. 2-2 count on Barriga. Jackson Pierce on first with 1 out for the Cougars. Here comes the pitch, and looks like they're going to call him out. Strike number 3. Barriga takes off to first, but the base will be occupied, so they'll give him 2 outs here. That'll bring up top of the order Nick Hall with Jackson Pierce still on first. Two outs for the Cougars. And that'll be low and outside. And that'll get away from Baskins. That'll move Pierce up to second. Still 2 outs here for the Cougars. Here comes the pitch. That'll be high and outside for ball 2. Two and 0 count for Hall. Here comes the pitch. And that'll be called strike 1 on Hall. 2-1 count now for Hall. Pierce still on second with 2 outs for the Cougars. And he'll send that out to left field. Left fielder drops the ball, and Pierce will come home to score.
Now batting for the Solo Cougars.
That'll take the score up to 23. 23-2 Solo Cougars. That'll bring up Easton Hatch to bat for the Cougars. Nick Hall on first, gets his lead. Looks like Carpenter was going to go from the windup, but wisely stepped off. Here comes the pitch, and it'll be outside for ball number 1. Comes the pitch, will be low and inside for ball 1. Comes the pitch, and it'll be a swing and a miss for strike number 1. Hatch still ahead in the count here. Here comes the pitch, will be low and inside for ball 3. 3-1 count for Hatch. Hall still on first with 2 outs. Here comes the pitch. And that'll be ball 4 taken. And that'll put runners on first and second for the Cougars with 2 outs.
Now,
And that'll
batting for the Solo
bring
Cougars,
up Dre
number
Chavez,
10,
number 10 to bat.
Dre
Chavez is 2 for 3 today. We'll see if we can improve on that number. And here comes the pitch. And that'll be a strike 1 to Chavez. Runner still on first and second. Here comes the pitch, and it'll be over Chavez's head. Be a 1-1 count. And it'll be a pickoff move, and Hall will be safe at second. Yeah, swing and a miss for Chavez for strike number 2. 1-2 count now for Chavez. Here comes the pitch. And Chavez takes that out to left field, and it'll get down. And it looks like they're going station to station, so everybody will go back and to load the bases up.
Cash Perkins.
That'll bring up Cash Perkins for the Solo Cougars. Bases loaded now for Cash Perkins. And he'll send it to third base, foul for strike number 1.
And Nick just tried building that wall. Did you just see that?
And they're letting Chavez run today, so I'm assuming that they'll have someone else coming in to finish the game. Pickoff move, and Hatch will be back easy at second.
I thought he was sleeping. It's fine.
I think he was sleeping.
I was like, oh no.
Comes the pitch, will be low and outside for ball 1. That'll even the count. Comes a 1-1 pitch. And he'll sky that one to the third base side. Out of play for strike number 2. That ball was hit sky high. One and 2 count now for Perkins. Base is still loaded. Here comes the pitch. And they're going to punch him out with strike 3 called. That'll be 3 outs. And that'll move us down to the top of 5 with the score of 23-2 Solo Cougars. All right, looks like the Cholo Cougars will bring in Parker Erickson to pitch. Looks like Jackson Pierce will come into first. Ridge Rush is in at second. Dakota Whiting in at third. Hatch is still at short. Nick Hall will move to center field, and Aaron Briga will be in right field. Here comes the first pitch to Hudson Moore, and there'll be a call, strike one. Here comes 0-1 pitch to Moore. And that'll be a 1-1 count. And that pitch will be outside and get away from Chavez. Ball number 2. So it'll be a 2-1 count on Moore. Moore 1-2 for the day. And that'll be called strike 2 on the outside corner. That'll even the count at 2-2.
No.
Looks like we'll have a full count here. And here comes the payoff pitch. And he'll foul it off to the left field side. That'll be ball 4 for Moore, and that'll put him on base. Looks like got an 0-1 count here on Edgington. That'll be inside and high for ball number 1. So we have a 1-1 count here on Caden Edgington. Hudson Moore on first, takes his lead. Comes the pitch, and he'll put that into play. Looks like it's going to get down. Oh, no, Hatch makes a spectacular play from shortstop.
Hey, way to be there.
Hatch almost got him doubled up back at first. Good backup from Chavez there, behind the first baseman. And that'll be a call strike on the outside. 0-1 count on Brody Ellsworth. Hudson Moore on first. And be called strike 2. 0-2 count on Ellsworth. Hudson Moore still on first. 1 out for Blue Ridge. Here comes the pitch. And that'll be down in the dirt for ball 1. Nice block there from Chavez. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. And that'll be outside for ball 2. That'll even the count at 2-2. Moore still at first base. And 1 out. And that pitch will be down and outside for ball 3. That'll run the count full with Moore on first. 1 out still for Blue Ridge. And that'll be off the bottom corner there. That'll put runners on first and second for the Jackets. That'll bring up the catcher, Hunter Baskins. See if Baskins can do some damage here with the runners on first and second. One out for the Jackets. Here comes the pitch. And it'll be outside. Chavez able to get out there and put it down at least. So the runners will stay put. One ball, no strikes. Here comes the pitch. And it'll be down and outside. Dug away from Chavez, and the runners will move up to second and third. Here comes the pitch. And that'll be just outside for ball 3. That'll run the count to 3-0 on Baskins. Let's see if he gets a green light from his coach, Coach White. And that'll be a call strike. That'll run the count 3-1. I'm assuming that was a no on the green light. And he puts it in play, but that'll be foul on the third base side. That'll run that count to 3-2. Payoff pitch coming up to Baskins. Payoff pitch on the way. That'll be called strike 3 on Baskins for out number 2. That'll bring up Grayson Kinslick for Blue Ridge. That'll be strike number 1 on Kinslick on the outside corner. Kinslick 2 for 2 on the day today. See if he can add a third hit to today's totals. That'll get way outside for ball 1. 1-1 count on Kinslick. Comes a 1-1 pitch. And that'll get down low for ball number 2. 2-1 count on Kinslick. Here comes the pitch. And it'll be called strike on the outside corner. That'll even the count at 2-2 for Kinslick. Here comes a 2-2 pitch. And it'll be a swing and a miss for strike number 3. And I believe that will conclude the game. I want to thank everybody who watched today. Appreciate your viewership today. Cougars have one more game, which will be our senior night. Please join us here Monday against Payson for senior night. We would love to have as many fans come down as possible. And I want to thank you guys for watching.